and a lot of bare open patches on the bottom half of the hill. This is a pause. It's definitely not closing as such.
A lack of snow on the slopes, how local ski hills are adjusting this week in the hopes more snow is on the way.
Been on a review. Every year it's going to be reviewed. Do we need it? Are we going to be given that?
A fight for funding on the North Island as the West Coast struggles to hold on to its reputation as Hollywood North. Plus, Adam finds out why a Saanich senior built a mini museum along his Suburban street. Later on the Swatsky sign-off. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. This mild January weather is causing headaches on the slopes. Island ski hills are adjusting their operations to manage the lack of snow, but there's optimism as winter is far from over. Up at Mount Washington, people were still skiing in some areas today. A social media post earlier this week from the mountain says it will be closing night skiing for the weekend to focus on snowmaking. On the North Island, up at Mount Cain, bare patches at the bottom of the hill and other exposed hazards have focused that the resort to close for the time being due to safety reasons.
Our plan is once we get another storm or enough snow to safely open again, we will definitely be doing so. Yeah, we definitely haven't called the season off by any means.
The BC River Forecast Centre says snowpack levels on Vancouver Island were at 58% of normal at the beginning of the month. The centre adds there is a lot of time left in the season to make up for the low snowpack as snowfall can continue into April.
It's typically what we had right before that Christmas period where we just had rainfall after rainfall at like 7 or 8 degrees in the city. And that's when it's just pummeling down and we're getting the really huge snowfalls.
The average snowpack levels for the entire province as of January 1st were at 100% of normal. And new statistics show cities like Vancouver are losing ground to filming locations in Calgary and elsewhere. As CTV's Andy Garland reports, there's a fight to secure funding the industry in Nanaimo as the West Coast tries to hold on to its title as Hollywood of the North.
Rolling. The North Island Film Commission provides services to attract and facilitate film productions from the Mid to North Island.
Every year we're given a certain amount, so it's been $100,000 for the last few years, but we've been on a review. Every year it's going to be reviewed. Do we need it? Are we going to be given that?
And just recently, the Regional District of Nanaimo moved $50,000 of that funding to other groups in the community, like Search and Rescue.
They're looking for some extra funding, and we are. And so this year, Search and Rescue, clearly, how do I cannot defend the decision.
The Film Commission says there needs to be a different funding model, which includes investments from the province and regional governments to support the island film industry.
Clearly, economic development should not be at the same funding pot as some of the local organizations.
I'm more than comfortable in supporting the application for the monies that they've requested tonight.
At Monday night's council meeting in Nanaimo, the city stepped up and approved $30,000 for the Film Commission.
Infilm has brought something in the order of $250 million of direct investment into the island over the last 30-plus years.
And the city of Nanaimo has been on the receiving end of that economic benefit, more recently with the filming of HBO's The Last of Us.
$421,000 was spent directly by the production company in the city of Nanaimo, and roughly, I think, another $1 million plus in the surrounding area.
Even with funding cuts, the Film Commission says there's still lights, camera, and action as a major film production is gearing up for the Mid-Island.
A feature film is coming in February for Campbell River again. Campbell River, Sayward, and Wass.
As far as the shortfall, the Film Commission has put out a funding request to the city of Parksville and town of Qualicum Beach to cover the remaining $20,000. Andy Garland, CTV News.
Teachers are heading back to the bargaining table with the province after declaring an impasse with their employer earlier this month. The BC Teachers Federation says talks will resume next week following a meaningful commitment from the province. The union says it was originally offered the same wage increase that the BC GEU members recently received. Teachers say they are looking for better working and learning conditions in the classroom. The collective agreement between the BC Public Schools Employer Association and and teachers expired in June of last year. And Canada for decades has been known as a hockey-crazed nation, but newcomers confirm many more Canadian children are now scoring goals on the field, not on the ice. CTV's Andrew Johnson is looking into the ascent of soccer.
1, 2, 3, let's go.
Under the lights in Vancouver.
Remember, guys, we have to accelerate with the ball.
Canadian winter for these kids is spent on the field, not at the rink.
When I go outside, it just makes me feel happy.
It's really fun.
They're part of a Canadian generation now overwhelmingly choosing soccer over hockey.
This has been his sport since he was like 2 years old. Messi and Ronaldo. And so those were the two guys that he looked up to, and it's just something that came naturally to him.
According to a new report by Canadian Tire Jumpstart Charities, half of young Canadians play soccer, making it the most widely played youth sport in the country, more than twice the number who play hockey.
I think it's so accessible. Kids can play at school, at recess, at lunch. All you need is a ball and a wall.
It's multicultural. You don't need to speak to get a, friendship. You just have to play soccer.
Yes,
the popularity of soccer also comes down to cost. The report says families spent 4 times more to put a child in hockey.
This keeps them off of video games, which I feel is way more expensive.
Like hockey, the report confirms soccer is attracting more boys than girls. A stat Sloan Rodriguez is experiencing firsthand.
What's it like being the only girl on a boys' team?
It feels a bit awkward.
What hasn't changed is the positive power of sport. 96% of families say they believe it improves their children's physical health. 93% point to mental health benefits. Now that's a win. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
The developers of the Beachlands site have their sights set on adding 2 new hotel projects to the large-scale development. An application to Colwood Council shows the first location is along Metchosin Road on the southern edge of the Beachlands. The second would be located in the center of the development where a waterfront plaza is planned. Beachlands is a 54-hectare site being built out by Seacliff and Reliance Properties with near half a hectare of shoreline. Now, once completed, the development will come with more than 2,800 mixed units of housing parks, retail spaces, and restaurants. Seacliff Properties says the 2 hotels would be a great addition to the region that recently experienced record tourism and a shortage of hotel rooms.
I think overall the feedback we've been hearing from members of the public, from members of council is largely very supportive. I think there's broad agreement that this would be a great amenity to the area and a great way to be able to attract people to the beautiful city that is Colwood, and also add to the commercial base and core within the city, which is an important component as well.
Colwood Council approved the land use amendment during its January 12th meeting and now will be taking the proposal to public hearing. And the Royal BC Museum is launching a new exhibit where you can swim with southern resident orcas. Well, kind of. Critical Distance uses augmented reality goggles to plunge people beneath the surface. You can see J-pod orcas swimming above, below, and beside you. And you can also hear them. Also audible is the noise from the vessels cruising along overhead, serving as a demonstration of just how disruptive noise pollution is for whales.
The thing that is unique about noise pollution is we could fix it tomorrow if there was political will. It's not like, habitat where you have to rebuild it. It's not like, chemical pollution, which is going to take millennia to fix. But noise we could stop, or we certainly dramatically could reduce.
The conservationist says expanding vessel-restricted areas, viewing distances, slow-down zones, and building quieter ships would go a long way. The exhibit opened today and runs until early July. The new southbound on-ramp at Keating and at the Pat Bay Highway is slated to open this weekend. The off-ramp taking drivers into Central Saanich opened in the summer, closing the previous left turn lane, which required drivers to cross multiple lanes of highway traffic. The nearly $77 million project isn't done yet, though. The Ministry of Transportation and Transit says the area will still be an active construction zone for several more months. Now, additional work and closures are expected to take place in April to complete the project. And still to come, thousands of stolen dollars worth of goods.
They went for the most expensive items in the store, which led us to believe that they had been in here before.
An Oak Bay store owner speaks out. Was her shop targeted by these thieves?
Sunshine and high of 7 degrees earlier this afternoon in Victoria. It's currently 4 at the harbor, 6 degrees at the airport. Should see a slight cool down through the weekend, but more sunshine on the way. Those details right after the break.
CTV Weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises. Explore the endless possibilities at one of our 36 BC locations. Learn more at expediacruises.ca.
What makes West Shore Parks and Recreation a perfect place to play? It's our staff, working behind the scenes to keep the pool safe, kids engaged, and programs thriving. So apply today and join our team.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. Josh joins us now with a look at your weekend weather forecast. Josh, it sounds like we're going to have a sunny weekend ahead. We're going to be soaking all that sunshine up.
Yeah, temperatures a little cooler than they were today, but not too far off of average. We get 7 degrees for a daytime high in Victoria today. It will be around 6 for a daytime high tomorrow. Look at Port Alberni. The fog advisory has finally ended after being in place pretty much all week for Port Alberni and Comox. But it is cool, 0 right now. Comox is at 4 degrees. Tofino's 7. Right now, for most areas, skies are pretty clear right across the island, and that should be the case through the overnight period tonight and through pretty much all of tomorrow. Almost everybody gets mainly sunny skies for tomorrow. There is a bit of increased cloud cover here that comes in on Sunday. It's no major system. It's going to dump a bunch of rain, although Sunday evening into Monday morning, you might see some drizzle or some light showers in northern parts of the island. It's actually a fairly, for the most part, a fairly dry forecast for Victoria and surrounding areas right through the next 5 to 7 days. 4 degrees for a high in the north tomorrow, 5s Sunday, Monday with that extra cloud cover, and then warming up Tuesday, Wednesday, about 8 or 9 for daytime highs. Some fog patches, especially around Port Alberni again tomorrow, although it won't be as thick and soupy as what we had earlier in the week. Elsewhere, mainly sunny skies. Temperatures around -2 in the morning and then up to about 4 degrees. So right on par with average through the weekend and into Monday. You're also looking at a warm up into Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. Out of the West Coast, mainly sunny, 7 degrees tomorrow, 6 and 7 for daytime highs Sunday, Monday with some extra cloud cover there. And Monday night into Tuesday, you might see some showers, especially in northern portions of the West Coast. Comox, chance of some morning fog patches tomorrow. Should be mainly sunny, though, for most of the day. Cool start at -2, but up to about 5 degrees, and then just 3 on Sunday. Back to around 7 or 8, it looks like, by Tuesday, Wednesday. In Nanaimo, 6 degrees is the average daytime high, so just slightly cooler than average through the weekend and into Monday. Again, out near the water, you have that chance of some fog patches developing overnight tonight through tomorrow morning. But for the bulk of the day, you're looking at mainly sunny skies. Partly cloudy on Sunday, and then mostly cloudy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And again, that warm up into Tuesday and Wednesday, which I've got 8s in the forecast for Victoria Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. There's a chance we might even get to double digits 1 or 2 of those days. As for the weekend, sunshine tomorrow, -2 in the morning with some fog patches. Sunshine at 6, maybe even 7 degrees for a daytime high tomorrow. So 7 is average, 5 and partly cloudy on the way for Sunday. CTV Weather is brought to you by Expedia Cruises for air, land, and sea vacations. So not a bad forecast through the weekend. It's not going to be overly hot, but nice to see a little bit of sunshine, especially Saturday.
I'd like to hear it. Thanks, Josh. The young Campbell River backpacker who was found dead on an Australian beach earlier this week was likely not directly killed by a pack of wild dogs, according to an autopsy. Now, the local coroner's office says a preliminary assessment on the body of the 19-year-old Piper James suggested the death was caused by drowning. While her body was surrounded by dingoes when it was first found, they did not appear to be the cause of death. The coroner also says there is no evidence another person was involved. And an Oak Bay business owner says more than $20,000 worth of clothing was stolen from her store in what she believed was a thoroughly planned break-in. Now, the owner of Hughes for Men says the store's alarm front door was breached a little before 5 Thursday morning. Now, she says the place was ransacked and most of the stolen suits and jackets were from the same high-end brand.
They went for the most expensive items in the store, which led us to believe that they had been in here before. And they even went into the back room and they knew exactly where the items were. Living where we live, I just always thought we were so protected. You know, Oak Bay is such a lovely place to live. You just don't think that these things happen here, and they do.
Oak Bay police aren't saying whether they've identified a person or people of interest.
We take every crime seriously, so whether it's a large amount or a small amount, we treat it the same. And so that's why we're working with businesses, and we make it a priority to increase patrols in all areas to make sure that we look for suspicious people.
Oak Bay PD says so far this month there have been 3 break and enters in local businesses. There were 2 in all of 2025. A man has been charged with the robbery after allegedly robbing a bank in Saanich with a replica handgun. It happened last Friday around 5 p.m. at the TD Bank on Burnside Road West. Now, the suspect made off with an undisclosed amount of cash. Bank security alerted police with a description of the suspect's vehicle. Police were able to locate the man and make an arrest. Elaine Bordeaux faces charges of robbery and with using an imitation firearm to commit an offense. After years on the run, former Canadian Olympic snowboarder and alleged drug kingpin Ryan Wedding has been arrested after he turned himself in to the U.S. Embassy in Mexico City. 44-year-old Wedding, who grew up in Coquitlam, is accused of murders and of running a multi-million-dollar drug empire. He'd been on the FBI's most wanted list until his arrest and is now in custody in the U.S., where he faces federal prosecution.
Just to tell you how bad of a guy Ryan Wedding is, he went from an Olympic snowboarder to the largest narco trafficker in modern times. He is the modern-day El Chapo. He is the modern-day Pablo Escobar, and he thought he could evade justice.
No single agency or nation can combat transnational organized crime alone. The arrest of Ryan Wedding is the result of strong, trusted partnership.
At a joint news conference in California, investigators said Wedding and others are accused for their roles in shipping massive amounts of cocaine throughout California on its way to Canada. Now, the FBI said it could not provide further details about Wedding's arrest to safeguard the investigation. And coming up, design display. Adam finds out why a man built an unexpected addition on his backyard fence. Next on the Swatsky Sign-Off.
See it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Welcome back. Finally, Adam finds out the story behind a mini museum that's been built on a backyard fence along Cumberland Road in Saanich on the Swatsky Sign-Off.
Alan Collier never imagined he'd end up doing this when he first fell in love with woodworking as a boy.
I admired my cousin who had a workshop right next to his bedroom.
Well, it was no surprise. Alan grew up to be a woodwork teacher.
You don't have to sit down. You know, you're active with your hands.
It was astonishing that day he happened upon 4 chairs by a famous designer at a local thrift store.
So I thought, oh, that's interesting.
It inspired Alan to start searching for all sorts of notable furniture, amass a collection of a couple hundred historical items, and earn attention from folks who run galleries and museums across the country.
It's not until you have a bunch of this stuff that suddenly something clicks.
Although Alan could easily see items from his collection by flipping through the pages of catalogs from all the furniture exhibits he'd been asked to curate, regular folks couldn't.
I just thought that make a connection with local people.
So, along his fence on this suburban street, Alan decided to build a mini museum.
You don't have to get a grant. I don't have to approach a museum. I can just do it.
Now, every morning, Alan cleans the case and displays items from his collection that are connected in interesting ways, which he explains with informative signs.
I'm very happy just to have a few people who walk by learn something about design, and hopefully it sticks.
And hopefully, seeing as his exhibits have included at least one piece that's been designed and constructed in Canada,
there are quite a few that meet the standards of international design.
Remind us of our potential.
This is who we are. We had an industry like this in Canada as well, and I don't know how many people would know that.
And if, Alan says, our local designers and manufacturers can take a seat on the international stage again,
I think it's more relevant now than ever to promote the idea of Canadian design.
Along with being celebrated in a museum in the suburbs, they can be appreciated in homes around the globe. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Saanich.
The Sawatsky Sign-Off, brought to you by Coastal Community Credit Union. Bank happy at Coastal Community Credit Union.
All right, that's it for us here on CTV News Vancouver Island. Have a great weekend, everyone.